Hi Neil again. Just a quick video. This was something which I thought was quite interesting because it's a lovely way to demonstrate when we talk about problems with salt damp on chimney breasts around fireplaces. So we've got the stone fireplace here. Obviously it's an old stone fireplace. When you come up to the recess, you can see the soot, and obviously that's from decades of burning fossil fuel, solid fuel in the fireplace. Actually, can I get my light on? There you are. So we can see the extent of the soot. You can see on the bottom there, right hand side, you can see salts on the surface of the wall. Get a bit closer in, you can see the salts through there. But so we know that there's going to be a problem with salts within the fireplace, within the recess. But often what happens is those salts, over decades of use, will permeate the building fabric, and then they'll come through onto the stonework, the internal surface. Exactly as we can see here. We've got the same soot coming through. We've got little patches. Just, it depends on the permeability or what type of makeup of the stone. But we just end up with these little isolated patches where they've bled through the masonry. And this will have gone on for a long time. So what's the problem with that? The problem is that these salts will be hygroscopic, or can be hygroscopic. So you can see them there shown on the surface of the wall where they're crystallizing as the water's evaporating from the wall. Obviously it's bringing the salt crystals to the surface. Now what happens is you often find that people they'll get the fireplaces replastered. So we apply a lightweight plaster over the surface of this wall. All that will happen is, obviously we're introducing significant quantities of water which bleed into the masonry. As it comes back out, as it dries out, the mineral salts will be dissolved and they will come to the surface. So what you will find, and often find, when people have had the chimney breasts plastered or replastered, reskimmed, that you suddenly get these damp patches appearing, intermittent damp patches, dotted around on the newly plastered wall. I've seen it hundreds of times, and I'm sure most surveyors will have seen exactly the same thing. And then the clients are wondering, what's causing it. One of the common things it's stated is that it's rainwater coming down through the flue because the chimney stack isn't capped, or there's repairs needed up there. And more often than not, it's got nothing to do with that. It's actually just the fact that you've had decades of hygroscopic salts building up within the masonry. We put a plaster coating on there, or dot and dab over the top. Those salts will then bleed through to the inner surface. The salts are hygroscopic. They will absorb moisture from the atmosphere, and they can do so to the extent where obviously the salts reach saturation point. They will dissolve, and then we end up with a damp stain. As as things warm up again or dry out, the moisture evaporates and the salts will then recrystallize within the surface of the plaster. So we get these intermittent damp stains appear. But I just thought this was a nice little example. You can see it before, obviously I don't know if they've got any intention to plaster this, probably not. But that is what you will commonly see, and that's why you see these isolated patches. Above the opening is very common because that's where we've got the majority of the draw when there's a fire going there. But then obviously you see where it's permeated, you can see the little dark patches where it's permeated through the masonry. And they're the patches, if the wall was replastered, that we'd get these little damp stains appearing. Well, there's a good chance we'd get the damp stains appearing. Obviously we can see that on this right hand cheek. So I just thought it was a lovely little example when we see these damp patches on plastered walls and we're trying to work out what it is. That's what's happening behind. So it just gives you an idea of what's going on. I hope that makes sense. Have a good day. Bye bye.